New York, the Empire State, faced a significant rise in crime in 2023, reporting 126,537 index crimes compared to 103,388 in 2022. Property crimes also increased, with thefts and auto thefts rising by 26.4% and 32.2% respectively. 10. Johnson City. Johnson City's crime rate is significantly higher than the national average, with estimates suggesting a 34% increase in total crimes and a 67% increase in violent crimes compared to the U.S. average. Sources like Neighborhood Scout report a rate of 48 crimes per 1,000 residents, meaning a 1 in 21 chance of being a victim. The city's violent crime rate is also significantly higher than the national average. The chance of a person becoming a victim of a violent crime in Johnson City is 1 in 282. This is compared to the national average of 1 in 406. Property crime rates in Johnson City are higher than the national average. Sources like Neighborhood Scout estimate a 1 in 23 chance of experiencing a property crime, compared to the national average of 1 in 39. Compared to New York State as a whole, property crime rates in Johnson City are also higher, with a chance of being a victim roughly 40% greater. 9. Watertown. Watertown's overall crime rate, which encompasses both violent and property crimes, sits at 4,744 per 100,000 residents, exceeding the national average by 104%. The rate of property crime in Watertown is around 36.26 per 1,000 residents, compared to the national average of 25.9 per 1,000, and the New York State average of 22.6 per 1,000. Watertown's violent crime rate surpasses the national average by 71.8%. This translates to roughly 635 incidents per 100,000 residents. Property crimes like theft, burglary, and vandalism constitute a major portion of Watertown's crime. Watertown's property crime rate is significantly higher than the national average, with various sources reporting rates 104% to 110% higher. This translates to roughly 1 property crime per 28 residents. 8. Binghamton. Binghamton, a city nestled in the Southern Tier region, has a complex relationship with crime. Binghamton's crime rate consistently surpasses the national average. According to Neighborhood Scout, the city's overall crime rate is 38 per 1,000 residents, placing it among the highest in the country. Binghamton's violent crime rate is 82% higher than the national average, and 54% higher than the New York State average. This translates to roughly 673 violent crimes per 100,000 residents. Binghamton's property crime rate sits significantly above the national average, with statistics suggesting a 1 in 28 chance of falling victim. This translates to approximately 3,695 incidents per 100,000 residents. 7. Utica. Compared to previous years, total crime in Utica has seen a rise, ranging from 5.7% to 14.5% depending on the data source. Utica's crime rate is roughly 71% higher, with both violent and property crime contributing to the rise. In 2023, violent crimes per 1,000 residents stand at 5.91, exceeding the national average and raising alarm bells throughout the community. Utica's property crime rate is 74.4% higher than the national average, with 3,408 incidents per 100,000 residents compared to the national average of 1,963. This translates to 5.97 property crimes happening daily in Utica, compared to the national average of 2.82. 6. Schenectady. Compared to both New York State and counties outside New York City, Schenectady's crime rates, particularly violent crimes, tend to be higher. Schenectady's violent crime rate is roughly 330.5 per 100,000 residents, placing it above the national average of 277.3. However, within New York State, it falls within the middle range, significantly lower than major cities like New York City and Buffalo. Schenectady's property crime rate is 526.1 per 10,000 residents. This means someone in Schenectady is more than 13 times as likely to be a victim of property crime than someone in the average United States city. Crime rates can vary within the city itself, with some neighborhoods experiencing higher rates than others. 5. Rochester. Compared to the national average, Rochester has a higher overall crime rate. According to Neighborhood Scout, the city's crime rate is 38 per 1,000 residents. Within New York, Rochester's crime rate is higher than 99% of communities but comparable to other cities of similar size. Rochester's violent crime rate is lower than the national average. According to U.S. News and World Report, in 2020, the city's rate was 179.2 per 100,000 residents. According to the most recent FBI data, Rochester's property crime rate stands at 3,581 incidents per 100,000 residents, compared to the national average of 2,114.9. This translates to a chance of becoming a victim of 1 in 32. Motor vehicle theft is a particular concern. With Rochester boasting one of the highest rates in the nation, the likelihood of having your car stolen is 1 in 177. Larceny, which includes theft of personal property like wallets and purses, is also prevalent, with a rate of 2,384 per 100,000 residents. 4. Albany. Albany's crime rate is higher, with some sources suggesting a 103% increase in total crime. This translates to a 1 in 30 chance of experiencing a crime. Compared to the national average, Albany's violent crime rate is higher. Sources like Area Vibes cite a rate of 930 per 100,000 residents, translating to a 1 in 108 chance of becoming a victim, significantly higher than the national average. According to several sources, Albany's property crime rate is significantly higher than the national average. Estimates range from 93.5% to 102.71% higher, with around 3,710 to 3,782 property crimes per 100,000 residents. This translates to a roughly 1 in 27 chance of becoming a victim of property crime in Albany, compared to the national average of 1 in 38. 3. Syracuse. Compared to the U.S. average, Syracuse's crime rate is significantly higher, with estimates ranging from 70% to 112% above the national level. Some sources rank it among the most perilous cities in the United States. Crime rates vary significantly across different neighborhoods. Certain areas, particularly in the south and east sides, experience higher rates of violent crime compared to others. Syracuse's property crime rate is 56.1% higher than the national average. This translates to 3,051 property crimes per 100,000 residents. Motor vehicle theft is a major concern in Syracuse, with a rate of 1 in 215 residents experiencing it. This is significantly higher than the national average of 1 in 289. Larceny, which includes theft of personal property, also prevalent in Syracuse, with a rate of 1 in 54 residents experiencing it. 2. Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls has an overall crime rate that is 57.5%, higher than the national average. This translates to roughly 4.83 daily crime incidents, with 1.06 violent crimes and 3.76 property crimes per day. The city's violent crime rate is 118% higher than the national average. This translates to a 1 in 125 chance of experiencing a violent crime in the city. Property crimes like theft, burglary, and vandalism are also common in Niagara Falls. The city's property crime rate is 46.1% higher than the national average. 1. Buffalo. If anyone out there is surprised that Buffalo, and not New York City, came in as the most dangerous place in New York, just remember we calculated the number of crimes per person in each place. New York City may have had a total of 194,355 crimes, but it also has more than 8 million residents. Buffalo, on the other hand, had 15,740 crimes, giving it the third most crimes per person. Worse still were its particularly high number of violent crimes. A staggering 90% increase in car thefts occurred in 2023 compared to 2022, indicating a potential new wave of criminal activity. Property crime rates vary across different neighborhoods in Buffalo. Some areas consistently record lower rates, while others face higher incidents.